Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning. I've been studying since 5 a.m. I passed out yesterday at 8 p.m. And I would say this is the life that I've been living so far because unfortunately, I did not pass the C-Risk exam. Now, I have not officially received my scores yet because it says that it takes up to 10 days. So there's a high, well, actually, there's a low possibility that my fail on the screen that splashed before me when I took the test, which I was 100% confident that I passed, um, there might be a chance of redemption that I potentially can pass because of an error, maybe. I don't know what they do exactly for these 10 days. So here's what I searched and what I found on Reddit was that, so if you had a passing score, I guess they would, from the testing center uploading it to Isaka, that they could review videos or whatever it is that you potentially could have cheated. So your pass can ultimately become a fail. So both pass and fail has been stated that it's a provisional thing, meaning it's not a guarantee that you either passed or you failed. So there is a chance that that decision can be reversed. So when I went onto Isaka's website, and I should have brought this up earlier, I'm going to look for it now as I speak, that there's a possibility of that happening. So people were like, okay, so if you passed and you cheated or you did something or they caught something or something triggered to review that you could fail. So I'm thinking like, okay, so what if you failed and you're like so close to passing, which I have, you know, experienced in the past because ISACA exams actually give you scores, unlike ISC squared, where it's just pass or fail. And I don't remember how CompTIA does it. If they provide scores or not, you can comment that below. I'm not even going to look into that. But anyway, it's so I'm thinking, okay, I was really confident. I mean, I studied like crazy, hours and hours for a good couple of months. And I'm thinking, like, okay, there may be a possibility that it gets reviewed and they kind of reverse the decision. What I was thinking as a potential option was, okay, there was test questions in there, and maybe test questions get um, valued into the scoring of the exam. Now, this is just hypothetical. I'm just thinking, like, what's the possibility that they would need 10 days, right? Or how would they reverse a decision from a fail to a pass, unless they had incorrect errors in the questioning or the wrong selection of answers for certain questions and they're actually reviewing all 150 questions, which I don't think so, since it should be automated. But then again, Isaka seems to be a little lacking on updating technology. Went to the testing center. These machines were hideous. They were disgusting. They were old. They were slow, but enough to just run a testing application. I grant them that. But it's definitely no gaming system, and the best thing you could probably do on those machines just browse. If anything, comparable, I would say they are equivalent to like maybe the power of a Chromebook. Considering the age of these machines, and then the mouse and the keyboards, everything was just disgusting. I've been to pristine testing centers that they keep it up to date, they clean it. They even though it's old, it's presentable. But certain testing centers are just, oh my goodness. But anyway, I'm searching the Isaka test questions for exams. That's a word, probably the wrong wording for it, because then it's gonna just give me like test question for practice. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna have to look for this. I don't want to waste my time doing that. I just wanted to give you guys an update. Yeah, unfortunately, right now, provisionally, I have failed, even though I was so confident. So what I've been doing right now, uh, since it is the weekend, and I have been studying still. I'm still working 8 hours a day, and what I have been doing is early morning, maybe 5 o'clock, and till for me late at night is like 9, 10 o'clock. All right, but anywhere between 6 and 10, I have time to study. So I do that. I do a lot of practice questions. I jump on Udemy and I read, right? Whether it's on my Kindle, on my phone. And also, if I'm in the shower, I can't read, I can't do practice exams, I'm listening to my audiobooks on that subject or YouTube videos on that particular topic that I'm reading at that moment. All right. So, yes, I was as much confidence as I had that I thought I passed. So, it was a real shock to me when I saw the fail, and I was like, how can that be? But I do want to give you guys a quick thing, not disclosing any information that I learned throughout the exam. For this particular exam, is that two answers, and you probably have heard this before, two answers are always like garbage, right? You can see and tell right away. If you know your stuff, you'll be like, all right, you got A, B, C, D. Two of them are automatically eliminated. Then your confusion becomes, is it one or two? Which one is it, right? So you have two to choose from. And some of them, I would say, encompass, encompasses. Yeah, I think that's the word. Um, both answers, right? It has the primary answer, which is the broader answer that contains the smaller answer that is right as well. So they're both right. Okay, so the two answers remaining, they're both correct, but one of them is more correct, right? So it has the grouping including the answer that you think is right. Even though if you select it, you'd be like, I got it, right? That's the one. But in all honesty, both of them are correct, but one of them will be correcter, more correct, right? So it has both. It would include that automatically. And it's a little deceiving sometimes when you answer it that way, because it's like you're thinking of the steps. So when you think of the steps, it's like, okay, that one is the correct one, but you don't think of it as a grouping of steps, right? Because that's what the more right answer would be, the grouping of all the step encompassing the one that you thought was right. So maybe that's where I failed. But I have noticed that those types of questions and answers that were provided. So I thought it was a good, uh, you know, practice to kind of keep on studying in a way where you're taking a lot of practice exams, because some of the practice exams, I would say, does not show it in that fashion. It almost seems like practice exams were there to guide you, but the answers that they lay out is like all three of them is definitely nonsense, and only one of them is really correct, right? No matter what you do. But on the actual exam is a lot more difficult, because that trickiness comes into play where two is automatically out, but the other two is like they're both right. Just one of them is more right, which hate that. Hate that. So, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. I did not pass, well, at least provisionally. Maybe until I get my score, then I can share that with you guys. Uh, and then until that happens, I think it's been last Sunday, so it's only been 6 days from today. So tomorrow will be the seventh day. Hopefully by next week, early next week, midweek, I don't know. Seeing if that's possible. I haven't rescheduled yet because it won't allow me to. On my Asaka website, on my Asaka profile, it says the score is still pending. So I'm assuming someone's reviewing this thing, in like a human being reviewing my exam. And I'm not saying, mine in particular, but I just think that the 10 days that they allot for someone to review is actually someone reviewing it. All right. I have heard, and I know people that write exam questions for this, not for this particular exam, but for Isaka. And they said they sit there, they, conjure up questions, and they sit there in a group, and And even then they have their differences on what's the correct answer, which is insane, right? Just to hear that is like, so if you guys can't even decide on a freaking answer, then you expect test takers to kind of just adapt what your expectations are for an answer, right? That's why the wording is so weird on some of these questions. And now on top of that, some of these answers are just so weird on the way they ask it or present it, right? Anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully, it's a challenge. I enjoy doing this stuff. I love, learning and improving. So taking these exams is definitely a journey. And, even with your years of professional studies and experience, does not always account for passing a certification easily. You still have to put in the work. And I just wanted to kind of bring that to light. I've been doing this for 20 plus years in IT, and then in security, probably 10, 11 years now. And still, I still love taking certification, but you have to adapt with the time. You have to learn IoT devices and adapt to blockchain technology because those were on the exam. Just wanted to share that with you guys. And hopefully, my next attempt will be a pass. All right. Thank you guys. And I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.